Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, second chapter, title Contents of the Gita summarized. Text number 23. Nainam chindanti shastrani Nainam dahati pavakaha Nachainam gledayantyapo Nashoshayati marutaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, nor can he be burnt by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. All kinds of weapons, swords, flames, rains, tornadoes, etc., are unable to kill the spirit soul. It appears that there were many kinds of weapons made of earth, water, air, ether, etc., in addition to the modern weapons of fire. Even the nuclear weapons of the modern age are classified as fire weapons, but formerly there were other weapons made of all different types of material elements. Firearms were counteracted by water weapons, which are now unknown to modern science. Nor do modern scientists have knowledge of tornado weapons. Nonetheless, the soul can never be cut into pieces nor annihilated by any number of weapons, regardless of scientific devices. Nor was it ever possible to cut the individual souls from the original soul. The Mayavadi, however, cannot describe how the individual soul evolved from ignorance and consequently became covered by illusory energy. Because they are atomic individual souls, Sanatana, eternally they are prone to be covered souls eternally, they are prone to be covered by the illusory energy and thus they become separated from the association of the Supreme Lord, just as the sparks of the fire, although one in quality with the fire, are prone to be extinguished when out of the fire. In the Varaha Purana, the living entities are described as separated parts and parcels of the Supreme. They are eternally so, according to the Bhagavad Gita also. So, even after being liberated from illusion, the living entity remains a separate identity, as is evident from the teachings of the Lord to Arjuna. Arjuna became liberated by the knowledge received from Krishna, but he never became one with Krishna. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta Purport.
Astrani nainang dahati pamaka na chainang kledayanti tapo na susayati marut. So, definition by negation. Directly, we cannot appreciate what is that spiritual fragment, particle, which is within this body. Because the length and breadth of that spirit soul is impossible to be measured by our material instruments, although the scientists say that we can measure it. Anyway, even it is possible, first of all, you have to see where the soul is situated, then you can attempt to measure it. First of all, you cannot see because it is very, very small, 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. Now, because we cannot see, by our experimental knowledge, we cannot appreciate. Therefore, Krishna is describing the existence of the soul in a negative way. It is not this. Sometimes when we cannot understand, the explanation is given it is not this. Uh, if I cannot express what it is, then we can express in a negative way that it is not this. So what is that not this? The not this is that it is not material. The spirit soul is not material. But we have got experience of material things. Then how to understand that it is the negative? That is explained in the next verse. That nainang chinnanti shastrani. You cannot cut the spirit soul by any weapon, knife, sword, or thistle. It is not possible. Nainang chinnanti shastrani. The Mayavad philosophy says that I am Brahma due to my illusion. I feel I am separated, otherwise I am one. But Krishna says that mamai vangsa jiva. So, does it mean that from the whole spirit, this fragment has been separated by cutting into piece? No. Nainang chinnanti shastrani. It cannot be cut into pieces. Then the answer is that the spirit soul fragment is eternal. Not that by Maya it has become separated. No. How it can be? Because it cannot be cut into pieces. If I say, just like they put the arguments, ghatakas, patakas, that the sky within the pot and the sky outside the pot, on account of the wall of the pot, the sky within the pot is separate. But how it can be separated? It cannot be cut into pieces. For argument's sake, actually we are very, very small particle, molecular parts of the spirit. And they are eternally part. Not that circumstantially it has become part and again it can join. It can join, but not that in a homogeneous way, mixed up way, no. Even it is joined, the soul keeps his separate existence. Just like a green bird, when he enters into the tree, it appears that the bird is now merged into the tree. But it is not that. The bird keeps its identity within the tree. That is the conclusion. Although both the tree and the bird being green, it appears that the bird is now merged into the tree. This merging does not mean that the bird and the tree has become one. No, it appears like because both of them are the same color. It appears that the bird there is no more existence of the bird. But that is not the fact. The bird is similarly, we are individual spirit soul, the quality being one, say greenness. When one merges into the Brahma, effulgence, the living entity does not lose his identity. And because he does not lose their identity, and because the living entity by nature is joyful, he cannot stay in the impersonal Brahma effulgence for many days, because he has to seek out joyfulness. The joyfulness means varieties. So, in the Brahma effulgence, it is simply being chinmatra, simply spirit. There is no varieties of spirit. It is simply spirit. Just like the sky. The sky is also matter. But in the sky there is no variety. If you want varieties, even in this material world, then you have to take shelter of a planet. Either you come to the earthly planet or go to the moon planet or sun planet. Similarly, the Brahma effulgence is the glowing rays from the body of Krishna. Jasya prabha prabhavato jagadanna koti. Just like the sunshine is glowing effulgence from the sun globe, and within the sun globe there is the sun god. Similarly, there is in the spiritual world, there is Brahma effulgence, impersonal, and within the Brahma effulgence there are spiritual planets. They are called Vaikuntha lokas. And the topmost of the Vaikuntha loka is Krishna loka. So, from Krishna's body, the Brahma effulgence is coming out. Jasya prabha prabhavatu jagadanna koti. Everything is existing in that Brahma effulgence. Sarvam khalidam Brahma. In the Bhagavad Gita also it is said, Matsthani sarvabhutani nahang tesu avasthita. Everything existing on its effulgence, Brahma effulgence, just like the whole material world, innumerable planets, they are existing on the sunshine. The sunshine is impersonal effulgence of the sun globe, and there are millions of planets resting on the sunshine. Everything is happening on account of the sunshine. Similarly, a Brahma effulgence coming out, the rays coming out from the body of Krishna, and everything is resting on that Brahma effulgence. Actually, different types of energies, just like from the sunshine, there are different types of colors, energies that is creating this material world. Just like we can experience practically when there is no sunshine in Western countries, when there is snow, all the leaves of the tree immediately falls down. It is called fall, the season. It remains only wood, piece of wood only. Again, when there is spring season, the sunshine is available, all at a time they become green. So as the sunshine is working in this material world, similarly, the ultimate bodily rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the origin of all creation. Jasya prabha prabhavatu jagadanna koti. On account of the Brahma effulgence, millions and millions of Brahmandas or universes are coming out. Jasyaika nishasita kalamathavalamba jivanti loma vilaja jagadanna natha. Vishnur mahanasaya jasya kala visesho govindamadi purisam tamang bhajami. So, here this is the beginning of spiritual understanding that spirit, the Supreme Spirit cannot be cut into pieces. Nainang chindanti sastrani, nainang dahati pavaka. Now try to understand. We are thinking, the modern scientists, they are thinking that there cannot be any life in the sun glow. No, there is life. We get information from Vedic literature that there is life. There are also human beings like us, but they are made of fire. That's all. Because we have got teeny experience that how in the fire a living entity can live. To answer this problem, Krishna says that Nainanga dahati pavaka. Why you are sitting there? You come there. Nainanga dahati pavaka. The spirit soul cannot be burnt. If it would have been burned, then according to our Hindu system, we burn the body, then the soul is burnt. Actually, the atheists think like that when the body is burned, everything is finished. Big professor, they think like that. But here Krishna says, Nainanga dahati pavaka. It is not burned. Otherwise, how it exists? Na hannate hannamane sarire. Everything is very clearly stated. The soul does not burn. Neither it can be cut into pieces. Then nachainang kledayanti apa. Neither it is moistened. It cannot be wet in touch with water. Now in the material world, we find that anything, however hard it is, just like stone or iron, it can be cut into pieces. There is a separate machine or instrument, it can be cut. Anything can be cut into pieces. And anything can be melted also. It requires a different type of temperature only, but everything can be burnt and melted. And then anything can be moistened, can be wet. But here it is said, na chainang kledanti tapo, na sosayati marata. Neither it can be evaporated. That is eternity. That means any material condition cannot affect the soul. Jasangayam purusha. In the Vedas it is said, this living entity is always without any touch with this material world. It is simply covering. It is not in touch. Just like my body, the present, this body, although it is covered by the shirt and the coat, it is not attached. It is not mixed up. The body keeps always separate. Similarly, the soul always keeps separate from this material covering. It is simply on account of various plans and desires that he is making for lording over this material nature. Everyone can see every living being is trying to lord it over the material nature. That is his disease. He wants to lord it. He is servant, but artificially he wants to become lord. That is the disease. Everyone. Ultimately, when he fails to lord it over the material world, he says, oh, this material world is false. Now I shall become one with the Supreme. Brahma Sattva Jagan Mithya. But because the spirit soul is part and parcel of Krishna, so by nature he is joyful. He is seeking after joy. Every one of us, we are working so hard to find out some pleasure of life. So that pleasure of life cannot be had in the spiritual effulgence. Therefore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we get this information. The arujya krichena parang padam. Krichena, after undergoing severe austerity and penance, one may merge into the Brahma effulgence. Sajujya mukti. It is called Sajujya mukti. Sajujya, to merge. The arujya krichena parang padam. Even one goes up to that point, to merge into the Brahma existence, after severe austerity and penances, still they fall down. Patanti adha. Adha means again comes into this material world. Arujya krichena parang padang tata patanti adha. Why they fall down? Anadrita jusmadanghaya. They will never agree God is person. They will never agree. Their teeny brain cannot accommodate that God, the Supreme, can be a person, because he has experience of the person of himself or others. If God is a person like me and you, then how he can create innumerable universes? Therefore, to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it requires enough pious activities. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Bahunam janmanam ante. After speculating in the impersonal, philosophical way, when one is mature, Bahunam janman ante, Jnanavan, when he is actually wise, so long he cannot understand that the Supreme Absolute Truth is person, Sachidananda Vigraha. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Sabdat. Bhagavan. There. Badanti tat tattavidas tattam jad jnanam adhyam. This is a statement in the Srimad Bhagavad. Those who know the absolute truth, they know that Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan, they are one. It is different phases of understanding only. Just like if you see one hill from a distant place, you will find impersonal, hazy something, cloudy. If you go still forward, then you can see it is something greenish. And if you go actually within the hill, you will see there are so many animals, trees, men. Similarly, those who are trying to understand the Absolute from distant place or far away, they are realizing by speculation impersonal Brahma. Those are still forward, yogis, they can see localized aspect. Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa pushyanti yam yogina. They can see Dhyanavastita, localized within himself. This is Paramatma feature. And those who are devotees, they see Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, eye to eye, one person to another. Nitya nityanam, chetanas chetananam. So, actually the ultimate, the last word of the Absolute Truth is person. But unfortunately, those who are muras are less intelligent. Avajananti manga mudha manusim tanuvas. Krishna, he may be God, but he has become a person taking the help of Maya. This is Mayavad philosophy. They are studying Maya, they put God also within Maya. This is Mayavad philosophy. But God is not Maya. God is never covered by Maya. Krishna says that Mame Vada Prabodante Mayami Tang Tarantite. Anyone who surrenders unto me, he becomes free from the clutches of Maya. How Krishna can be within Maya? That is not very good philosophy. Simply by surrendering unto Krishna, you become free from Maya. How the person, the Supreme Person, Krishna, can be within Maya? Therefore Krishna says, Ja avajananti mangamudha manusim tanumas param bhava avajanant. They do not know how much potential the Lord is, how much powerful He is. They are comparing the power of the Supreme Lord with His own power. A frog philosopher, the Dr. Frog. Frog is considering Atlantic Ocean maybe a little bigger than the well, because he is living always. Kupamandukonra, it is Sanskrit, it is called Kupamandukonra. Kupa means well, and Manduka means the frog. The frog is perpetually within the well. And if somebody informs it that there is another big span of water, Atlantic Ocean, he simply calculates that it may be little more than this well, little more than this well, but he cannot understand how great he is. So God is great, we cannot understand how great He is. That is our folly. We are simply calculating He may be 1 inch greater than me or 1 foot greater than me. That is mental speculation. Therefore Krishna says, Manasanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya. Out of many millions of men, one may try to make his life successful, understanding the absolute truth. And jatatamapi siddhyana kaschid me vitti tata. So we cannot understand God by our mental speculation. Neither we can understand what is the measurement of the soul. That is not possible. Therefore, we have to take information from the highest authority, Krishna, what is the nature of God, what is the nature of absolute truth, what is the nature of the soul. We have to hear. You have to hear. Therefore, the Vedic literature is called Shruti. You cannot make experiment. That is not possible. But unfortunately, there is a section of people who think that they can make experiment, they can know the absolute by mental speculation. The Brahma Samhita says, Panthastu koti satavassa sampragamya vayu rathapi manasu munipungavana sappastija pravadasim na vichintatatti govindamadi purusam tamahang bhajami. Panthastu koti vatsara sampragamya. For many millions of years, if you make your progress in the sky to find out God, where is God? Panthastu koti satavassa samprangam. Vayorathat, not this ordinary plane, but on the plane of air, the velocity of air, or mind. The velocity of mind is very quick. Immediately you are sitting here, your mind can go many millions of miles away if you have got idea. So either on the plane of mind or by the plane of air, and traveling for many millions of years, you cannot find out. Panthastu koti satavassa sampragamya Vayu rathapi manasu munipungavana. Not only ordinary person, but great saintly persons, sages, they also cannot. So, another place, it is said in the Brahma Sangha, Vedesu durlava, adurlava atma bhakto. Vedesu. If you simply study Vedas, although the ultimate goal of studying Veda is to know Krishna, but if you want to study Vedas by your own speculative process, then he will always remain rare. Vedeshu durlabha. Adurlabha atmavakto. But if you approach a devotee of the Lord, he can deliver. He can deliver. Mahiyasang padu rajobhisekam niskincananang navineta java naishang matistava durukramang. Prahlad Maharaj says that you cannot have Krishna consciousness. Naishang matistava durukramang. Krishna consciousness is not so easy. You cannot have it unless you surrender yourself. Niskincanana. Mahiyasang padu rajobhisekam niskincananang navinitaja. So long you do not take the dust of the lotus feet of a devotee, niskincanana, who has nothing to do with this material world. He is simply concerned with the service of the Lord. Unless you are in touch with such a person, it is not possible to attain Krishna consciousness. These are the statements of the Shastra. So, Krishna is the supreme absolute truth, and he is person. But we cannot understand him unless we go through a Krishna Bhakta. Therefore, to understand Krishna, Krishna has come down as a Bhakta, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta. So we have to understand Krishna through Lord Chaitanya, because Krishna himself has come. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namini. Rupa Goswami, when he met first Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not first, for the second time. First time he met while he was minister in the government of Nawab Hussain Shah. And then, after meeting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted them to fulfill his mission. So they decided to resign from the government service and join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to spread this Krishna consciousness movement. Therefore, when Rupa Goswami met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Allahabad, Prayag, the first verse he composed in this connection, he said, Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayat. My Lord, you are the most munificent incarnation. Why? Because you are distributing Krishna Prema. People cannot understand what is Krishna and what to speak of Krishna Prema. But that Krishna Prema, you are distributing like anything. Namo Mahavadana. Therefore, you are the most munificent, charitable person. Namo Mahavadanaya. Padana means one who is very charitable, gives in charity as much as you like. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because people misunderstood Krishna, Krishna asked in the Bhagavad Gita that you surrender unto him. What can he do? He is God, he is Krishna. Then he is asks you, orders you, you surrender. I take charge of you. Aham tva sarva. But still people misunderstand. Oh, why shall I surrender to Krishna? He is also a man like me, maybe a little important, but why shall I surrender to him? Because here the material disease is not to surrender. Everyone is puffed up. I am something. This is material disease. Therefore, to become cured from this material disease, you have to surrender. Tad vidhi panipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadekshanti tad jnanam jnanina tattva darshan. So, unless you are prepared to surrender, that is a great difficult job for the materialistic person. Nobody wants to surrender. He wants to compete, individually, person to person, family to family, nation to nation. Everyone is trying to become the master. Where is the question of surrendering? There is no question of surrendering. So, this is the disease. Therefore, Krishna demands that to cure this rascaldom or must chronic disease, you surrender. Sarvadharman parittajya mamekang saranang bhaja. If I surrender, then the whole thing will be failure. My business, my plans, my so many things. No, I take charge. I take charge of you. Aham tva sarva pape bhamokkhaisam. Masusha. Don't be worried. So much assurance is there. Still you are not prepared to surrender. This is our material disease. Therefore, Krishna came again as a devotee, just to show how to surrender to Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna varnang tisa Krishnang sangapanga. So, this Krishna consciousness movement is very scientific and authorized. It is not a bogus thing, something manufactured by concoction of the mind. It is authorized, based on the Vedic instruction, as Krishna says, Sarvadharman parittajya mamekang saranang braja. So we teach only this philosophy. That is Krishna, here is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. You are searching after God. You cannot understand what is God. Here is God, Krishna. His name, His activities, everything is there in the Bhagavad Gita. You accept and surrender unto Him. And as Krishna says, Manvana bhavamad bhakta madhyari namaskuru. So we are speaking the same thing as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. We don't misinterpret. We don't spoil the whole Bhagavad Gita. We don't do this mischief. Sometimes people, they say, Swami, you have done wonderful. What wonderful? I am not a magician. My only credit is I have not spoiled the Bhagavad Gita. I have presented as it is. Therefore it is successful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.